Hi Pilates people, I'm going to take you through a short 15-minute glute burner series. So let's get started. I just want you to make sure as well though that if you ever feel any pain in your lower back, your neck or any of your joints, please stop, reset, start again. If you still feel the pain, drop me a message and hopefully I'll be able to help you solve the problem for next time. We're going to start lying down on our mats today. So I want you to just start by sitting up, engaging your core, using your core to roll yourself down onto your mats nice and slowly. So rolling all the way down until your back is flat. Now we're going to be starting with some bridges to really warm up both into our spine, our hamstrings and our glutes. So I want you to keep that core engaged. Your eye line will stay up. We're keeping the knees pointing upwards and we're keeping those hips pointing up as well. So the weight will stay centered through the body. Now we don't want to be moving the neck around while we're doing the bridges either. Now I want you to start with that tailbone heavy, slight gap underneath the lower spine, and then on your next exhale, we're going to flatten the back into the mat, lift the tailbone up, putting weight into the feet, pressing yourself slowly up into that bridge. Now when you're in your bridge, you'll want to have a straight line from your shoulders to your knees, and you're squeezing those glutes to hold you up there. Taking a deep breath in, and on your next exhale, you're going to roll yourself down. We're going to roll gradually down through the back. So first your upper back becomes heavy, then your mid back, then your lower back, and then finally the tailbone. As soon as you've come back to that position, we're going to roll ourselves back up again, lifting the tailbone up, rolling up the spine, lifting the lower back, mid back, upper back, holding at the top, squeezing those glutes. Deep breath in. On your next exhale, we're going to roll back down again, nice and gradually rolling down through the spine. Your tailbone will then become heavy again. Next time we get to the top, so rolling back up, we're going to hold. Holding at the top, make sure those hips keep pointing upwards. Now, level 2 is I want you to lift your arms so that your fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. That's just to make sure that you're not using them to hold you steady. We really want to be using the glutes and using that core as well. We're squeezing the glutes to hold up nice and high here. Keep squeezing those glutes, holding up high. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly rolling back down. All right, as soon as that tailbone hits, we're going to roll straight back up again, rolling back up, holding that bridge. Keep those hips pointing upwards, weight is centered. This time we're going to pulse up and down with those glutes, lifting and lowering. Keep that eye line up, keep the knees pointing up as well. Make sure that those knees aren't turning in or out. They're going directly up. Weight is centered, squeezing those glutes. Keep pulsing, just lifting and lowering those hips by about an inch. Really in that sticky range at the top, squeezing those glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly rolling back down. All right, bringing those knees into your chest, having a little bit of release for that lower back. All right, bringing the feet back down to the mat. This time I want you to bring your feet together. So your ankles are touching, your knees are touching, and your feet are touching. We're going to do that series again. So we're going to roll up and roll back down, all the way up, all the way down. So rolling gradually through the spine, squeezing at the top, and then slowly rolling back down. 2 more times of the full movement. Rolling all the way back up. Make sure those knees don't come apart. Make sure those ankles don't come apart. Squeezing at the top, and then slowly rolling back down. All right, one more time. We're going to hold at the top this time. Holding, squeezing those glutes. Make sure again those knees don't come apart. Your hips are pointing upwards, that weight is centered. Now pulsing, lift and lower. Really squeezing those knees together. Don't let them come apart. Really working into those glutes here. Squeezing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rolling again back down. Gradually rolling down. Bringing those knees in and having a little release there. Excellent. This time we're going to bring the feet apart again, so they're about hip distance apart. We're going to roll back up and we're going to hold. Rolling back up, holding at the top. Excellent. All right, this time we're going to bring the knees together and apart. Together, apart, together, apart. Make sure that you're holding up nice and high in that bridge. Really squeezing the glutes, squeezing the hamstrings and making those hips, make sure that they're still pointing upwards. Excellent. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly rolling back down. Bringing those knees in towards your chest. Having a little rock from side to side. All right, we're going to roll over onto our side now. Doesn't matter which side you pick, either is fine. We're going to come into some clams. Hopefully those glutes are already nice and warm. We're bending those knees out in front. Make sure that your hips are stacked, so one on top of the other. Your shoulders are also stacked. Just pressing away slightly. We want to keep that core engaged. Heels are together about in line with your torso. Knees are out in front. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Holding, big squeeze at the top. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Now, while we're doing these clams, we want to make sure that that top hip isn't rotating open and it's not rocking backwards. We really want to be using the glutes for these. Exhale, squeeze at the top. Inhale to lower. Excellent. Big squeeze. Keep it going. Now, if that glute isn't firing up by now, you can give it a little bit of a poke. That might wake it up. Otherwise, you can mess around with the degree of bend at your knee, perhaps a little bit more or a little bit less, maybe even moving those feet slightly forward or slightly back. Each body is slightly different, so we all need to be maybe in just a little bit of a different position here. Just make sure those hips are stacked though. We're holding at the top now, little pulses. Excellent, really squeezing the glutes, little pulses at the top. Make sure that hip's still not rocking backwards. The glute will be getting fatigued, but we've got to make sure that we keep using it. Excellent, keep pulsing just for another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, lowering. Now we're going to lift those feet up, continue with that clam. Make sure that those hips are still nice and stable. Exhale, lift and press. Inhale to lower. Excellent. You can be lying all the way down here as well. You don't need to have your head propped up. Whatever's most comfortable for you. All right, holding at the top, just holding now. We're just going to hold here. Keep squeezing those glutes, no movement. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down, giving the glute a little bit of a rub, extending that leg out. Now I want it to cross about a little bit in front of you. So you're crossing halfway through your calf pretty much. Toes are rotated downwards, lifting and lowering. Just lifting and lowering that leg. Now we don't want it to be going too high. You don't want to be doing this and making the hip do the movement. You really want that movement to be coming from the glutes And make sure as well, again, that the hip's not rocking backwards, really squeezing the glute. Excellent. All right, now little circles forwards. Again, make sure that that hip isn't rotating around. Squeezing those glutes. Should be burning, I have no doubt. All right, reversing the circles. Squeezing those glutes again. Excellent. All right, we're nearly done on this side. Squeeze, 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 keep going. Now we're just gonna hold that leg up, holding it up, holding it still, really squeezing the glutes. Make sure that you're still using those glutes. Just keep holding. Still, lift, higher, higher, higher. 8 seconds to go. Lift it higher if you can. Squeezing those glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. All right, giving that bottom a bit of a rub. Okay, we're going to go straight over onto the other side now. So rolling over onto the other side. Getting into position, making sure that your hips are nicely stacked, one on top of the other. Making sure as well that the shoulders stay stacked. You can either be lying down or sitting up. And we're coming into our clams. So feet are together, knees are together out in front. We're starting just with our lift and lower of that knee. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Again, make sure that that hip isn't rocking backwards. Now you will probably notice a slightly different feeling in each side of your body. Our hips are often, quite tight. One hip might be tighter than the other. But I really want you to focus on that squeeze at the top and really trying to make that glute activate. So if you need to reach around, give that glute a little bit of a poke. Maybe change slightly changing the position of your legs to activate the glutes a little bit more. Big squeeze at the top. Inhale to lower. Excellent. All right, keep it going. All right, we're going to do those pulses now. So squeezing at the top, little pulses. Make sure that that hip's not rocking around. Now you might have a bigger degree of movement than me, or flexibility rather, or it might be less, and that does not matter as long as you're really using those glutes and keeping those glutes working nice and hard here. Squeezing at the top. All right, we're going to pulse for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down, lifting those heels, and straight back into it. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Really working with your breath here. Make sure again that that hip isn't coming forwards or backwards. They're nice and stacked. You can have this arm in front, it can be on your hip. It doesn't really matter. Excellent. Keep it moving. We're nearly ready for that hold. All right, in 5 seconds, we're going to keep that knee lifted. 3, 2, 1, holding. Squeezing that glute, holding up nice and high, no movement here. Keep squeezing. Excellent. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering down. Bit of a rub. Then we're going to straighten out at that leg, flexing the foot, toes are rotated downwards, lifting and lowering. Excellent. Really squeezing into those glutes, lift, lower. Exhale to lift and squeeze, inhale to lower. Now remember, we're not using momentum here, we're really using those glutes. So the lift and the lower are at the same pace. It's not a lift lower using momentum, it's nice and slow. All right, little circles forwards now. Little circles. Excellent. Making sure those hips aren't rocking around. We're nearly finished on this side. All right, backwards. Little circles backwards. Keep it going. Excellent. All right, we're nearly there. Squeezing the glute, you've got this. Make sure the hip's not moving. All right, now we're gonna just hold that leg up. Lifting, squeezing that glute, holding up as high as you can. Squeeze, 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 hold, lift, higher, higher. 10 seconds to go. Keep squeezing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Giving that glute a bit of a rub. All right, we're gonna go back, rolling back around onto our backs now. All right, now I want you to just bring those knees in towards your chest. We're going to finish off just with one more set of bridges and then we're going to be completely done. So we're going to bring those heels back in towards your bottom. Knees are pointing upwards, hips are pointing upwards. Weight is centered, core is engaged. Arms are up here if you want the level 2 option. We're taking an inhale and on our exhale, we're rolling that spine up. We're going to hold that bridge. Holding at the top, squeezing here. Arms can be down if you need to. That is fine. We're going to alternate lifting one leg and the other. Now we want to make sure that those hips aren't rocking around. One hip isn't lowering as the leg lifts. So really keeping that balance. Keep your eye line up. Hips are lifted, glutes are squeezing on. You can have your arms down for extra support if you need to. Squeezing up here. All right, we're going to do 2 more on each side now. Last one. And then coming back to center, slowly rolling back down, bringing those knees in towards your chest. Having a little rock from side to side. All right, now we're just going to bring the ankle of the right foot onto the knee of the left, drawing that leg in and taking a nice figure 4 stretch there. Just releasing out through the glutes. Holding that stretch, breathing deeply. Excellent. Just taking one more big deep breath. And then swapping sides. So ankle to opposite knee. Drawing that leg in as little or as much as you like. If you want to leave your foot on the ground, that's absolutely fine. You can even press that knee away, depending on how deep of a stretch you need for that glute. Two more big deep breaths here. And then bringing those feet back down to the mat, just rocking both knees over to the right and both knees over to the left. And one more each side. And well done, everybody. Excellent effort. I'll see you soon.